Good evening or good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Garblag Games and another Friday session of Blades in the Dark, the wonderful game written by John Harper. We've got a wonderful crew of scoundrels here today, and we're going to go through. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, their character, and then they're going to give you a little vignette of the thing about the score from last session that really made their character stand out. Then we'll dive into a quick recap and then we'll get into some downtime. So, Ty, you are up first.
Hi, I'm Ty. You might know me as Fool the DM. But my lovely, amazing character is Oda Waziki Bangle, and of course their lovely little sidekick, Eye Patch the Monkey. Which you may, if you saw last session, remember. If you don't, well, this is what happened. We saw our lovely kind of our boss, I would say, Pat. I'd say your character feels like the leader of our group.
He does a lot of the talking.
Yeah. I mean, and sadly, you were unable to talk your way through a moment last time, and Eye Patch came through in the last moment of the clutch and dashed through, distracting all the bad guys and making the bad guys run after it. Well, you and the rest of us were able to easily walk into the um, bad guy hideout stronghold place.
Thanks, Ty. Ben.
Yep, they were definitely the bad guys and totally not us. Yes, hello, I'm Ben, and I'm playing Drogo Revo, who was also known as Placid because he isn't. And he is a whisper, although unlike most whispers, he hates ghosts. Now, I suppose the most exemplary little vignette of Placid from last session would be the bit where the two exploding goats ran off down the street with him swearing scovish insults and bleeding from a chest wound whilst laughing like a maniac, being pursued by half a dozen heavily armed mercenaries.
And that is Placid. Pat.
Hello, everybody. I'm Pat, aka Spider Queen Long. You can find me on Twitter at long_spider. I co-run the Twitch stream Diesel Shot. You can find that on Twitter too. I am playing. Oh my God, what is my character's name? Hold on. I'm playing Madame Asaria Bellevue, a bastard noblesse from the South who's trying to make a name for herself. And last week, we saw her, after a few escapades, after a little bit of trickery and tomfoolery, she got to do what she really loved. Take control of somebody else as she blew just a little bit of trance powder onto our quarry of the night, knocking him out fucking cold and standing over his collapsed body with a grin.
Thanks, Pat. Jeff.
Hi, I'm Oleg, Leadbelly Brine, leech of very little renown, and picture, if you will, our quarry, Ingolf Holgerson, was that right? I don't even remember the name. It doesn't matter. But we see him pacing around in his hidden little office, none the worse for wear, no concerns at all, and all of a sudden, the wall explodes. And the dust and the plaster and the wood and the frame, as it starts to settle, there is a very heavy-set, stocky man covered in iron, and he's carrying a not insubstantial sledgehammer as he's just going, as he charges in. That is Oleg, Leadbelly, Brian.
Fantastic. Lewis.
Hello, I'm Lewis, and I'm playing Biscuits, the Hound. And yeah, last week, Biscuits spent a lot of time eating biscuits in a high up perch. And then, as a exploding, smoke spewing goat cart went past with a bunch of angry Scovelanders following it, he fired a single shot at an explosive placed against the wall and blasted them all to wherever they go next.
Yes, he did. So for everybody who tuned in on YouTube or here on Twitch TV and saw that score from last week, you can remember just how chaotic it was and how much fun it was. If you hadn't seen last episode, and all of these vignettes should pique your interest, go back and take a look at it. A brief recap. This crew was given an audition score by Ilyana Komarov, a crime boss in Silkshore, to deal with a Skov mercenary company who had basically set up shop in her territory. She wanted their boss brought in alive, and they succeeded. At the end of the score, they were paid their coin. They were told to lay low for a few days and then come back and claim their turf in the maze in Fogcrest. Now, not to say that score was quiet, because it certainly wasn't. The crew managed to accumulate 7 heat while they executed the score, which, of course, brings us to the next part of downtime, and one of my favorite parts, the Entanglement Rule. Now, the Entanglement Rule tells us what kind of immediate trouble the gang is going to run into as a result of their score. Now, they've got 7 heat, so they're towards the upper edge of the amount of chaos that will be allowed in the city before something bad happens to the crew. However, they have 0 wanted level. So I need someone on the crew, say Mistress, to make a fortune roll for me, using 2 dice and taking the lower result.
Tragically, I am forced to oblige. Let's go for it. I think it'll automatically roll 2 if I... Oh, bloody hell. That's
Wonderful.
not good.
No, that is good. A 1 is good. In this instance, a 1 is good. So, camera fades in. We're in Silkshore. It's the next day, and everybody is kind of laying low, doing a little shopping, eating a little lunch, relaxing, when placid, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
I shall lean my head back because I can't turn around with my broken ribs at the minute. I'm going to look over the top of my head. Hello?
You're coming with us. We got questions for you. And you see a small squad of bluecoats behind you. They manacle your wrists behind your back and march you to the Silkshore Precinct House. To the Night Market Precinct House, sorry. And they put you in a small, dungy room, no windows. Single chair that they sit you in is probably the most uncomfortable piece of furniture you've ever sat in your life. It's got to be, it's so hot in this room that the walls are sweating. And you sit there for about 6 hours. And then finally, another blue coat walks in. He's wearing sergeant stripes. Sits down across from you. Right. So, interesting things happened in Silkshore.
It's an interesting place.
Yesterday. Yes, yeah, it is. No lip from you. We're looking into that. And funny enough, descriptions of somebody just like you popped up all over the maze and all over Fogcrest. Some of them said you were wearing a disguise. Others said you were just driving goats. I don't know. And I don't really care to know. So this is how it's gonna go. We're either gonna have a very profitable conversation for me, or you're gonna have a less pleasant day than you were hoping to have. So which do you think you want?
It's a tough one, isn't it? How unpleasant are we talking? Are we talking like beating unpleasant, or prison unpleasant, or stocks unpleasant, or liver and bacon unpleasant? Or those eels from that place on that one street that they don't cook them properly?
Worse than the eels.
I mean, yeah.
Better than prison. I'm
What?
going to slide right in with a solid, hard beating.
It might kill me. Fair. I mean, I've got a couple of broken ribs already, so I don't know how I could have been driving goats around in disguise.
Hey,
and if I was in disguise, how could
not
I have
asking-
been driving goats?
I'm not asking questions. I'm explaining the situation to you.
Oh, right. Sorry, shakedown.
People disturb the peace. Somebody's going to pay for it. They're either going to pay in blood or coin. I don't care which. You got fingered.
All right,
How do you want this to go?
How about I pay in information?
Let me see. How many things does information buy for my mistress? Not a goddamn thing.
Depends
So,
on who you sell the information to.
coin or a beating?
Oh, fine. We'll take the beating.
Right. All right, boys. Come on in. We're going to do some practice. And 4 more bluecoats come in, lock the door, chain you down into this chair, and begin to beat you like you've never been beaten before. So bad that your ribs actually shatter and you take level 3 harm, punctured lung.
Ooh.
Now, you can resist that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you're going to resist just like you would resist any other way, just do with a prowess roll. Okay, so you take two stress, and you've already got your level 2
My
harms
level
filled up.
2's already failed.
So instead of punctured lung, though, since you did resist it, I'm going to fill up your level 1 harm with bruised and bloodied all over your body. So 1 all the way across the board is filled up. And then they kick you out into the street, semi-conscious. All right. So next time, you might pay to pay, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, gotcha.
In addition, you gain 3 heat because now the blue coats are watching you guys. So you technically go to wanted level 1 and 1 heat. But you're out on the street. The rain is falling. The sky is dark. It's cloudy. But you're in the night market, so you smell spices. You smell food vendors. You smell some excellent mushroom ale. But you also do smell trash because you were laying in the gutter.
I think I could really use a goat right now to drag me somewhere. You've got filthy minds. Whoever was looking at me like that near the gutter. I cannot remember what Drogo's accent is like. Is it piratey? Piratey. Englishy piratey.
I think he is English.
Englishy piratey, yes.
So
I will
as
make my slow and uncomfortable way back to our hideout.
all right, so we slide into the secret suite behind Dundridge and Sons, where the others are already there. Leadbelly, why don't you tell me what the inside of your secret lair looks like?
Well, is this our shared space in the lair, or is this?
Yes,
Okay.
your shared space in the lair. You guys don't have quarters in here actually at the moment. You just have your shared space.
It is much to the chagrin of probably everyone in the group, filled with a bunch of nonsense, things that probably have very little value to anyone. You can see broken parts of machinery and weapons that we've sort of absconded with after certain jobs and tasks and things, none of which are actually working, like, in the least whatsoever. Spools of, like, thread and such that we've managed to steal from or borrow from some of the tailors that we share a space with. The one very nice thing is there's a lovely table right in the middle with a beautiful little lamp around which we plan our scores. However, the lantern doesn't really have any oil in it, so it's very dark, which is probably why our scores aren't particularly well planned. Something along those. None of us really can
Brilliantly
see very.
planned. What are you talking about? It was genius.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize. Whatever you say.
Genius.
I'd like to say that Madame Bellevue has a very small but very ornate antique chair that she doesn't let anybody sit on. It's right at the head of that table. People
And
sit on it when she's not around.
Is that where she is right now?
Probably. She turns over and says, "Holy shit, I chose." Boy, howdy. I chose the wrong line of work. You look like you're in some serious pain.
Yeah, a little bit. It was cheaper this way.
Oh, goodness.
Now, in no specific order, I need strong alcohol, a competent medic, and serious distracting.
So Placid's laid out his plan for the next couple of days, but Wazuki, why don't we start with you? It's downtime. The world is you guys' oyster. You've got coin in your pocket. You've got coin in your gang stash. That's a coin is worth about a week's salary. So you're sitting in a comfortable position right now. What's the first thing that Wazuki would do after that score?
Oh, it's Wazuki. The first thing on their mind, as always, is going to their favorite proprietor's place, Lady Dusk, in her lovely gambling den, so that Wazuki and Eye Patch can rob the Royals blind again and again and again. Especially Rosalind Kellis. Because it's always the mark. It's always the target. Wazuki sees them and is like, nice to see you again.
So you make your way into Six Tower. The lights of Night Market fade. The radiant globes in their various colors fade away. And as you're walking towards Six Shore, you've basically only got your lantern, and this once grand district of the city is covered in low ground fog, and you can barely hear anything other than the rats moving through the walls. But Lady Dusk's is beautifully lit. And the bottom of her tower, you see this grand entrance into her gambling hall. The bouncers are immaculately dressed, and they recognize you. They know you're a high roller. They tip their hats and nod you in, already counting the coin that they think you're going to drop here. As you make your way in, give me a fortune roll.
Okay.
Make it a 2 dice fortune roll.
Five and a 2.
All right, a 5. So that's a success. So Rosalind Kellis is there. She's sitting at a table. She's playing some cards. There is an open seat at that table, just calling to Wazuki. She looks
Wazuki
up.
opens up their vest. Not opens up, but like kind of like that's where Eye Patches is currently. They Wazuki's just like go. You know what to do. You know what to do, buddy. Our best friend's right here. Go hang out with them. Hang out behind them, dude. Up in the rafters as always. And he's like, yeah, scurries away. And Wazuki,
Lady Kellis looks at you. She's like, Ota, back again. How dreary, how dreadful, how tiring. I knew I should have left earlier. The animal stench that you bring in with you is more than I can almost bear.
Ah, Miss Kellis.
That's Lady Kellis to you, commoner.
Sorry, Lady Kellis. I was gonna say the opposite. It's quite a lovely delight to see you. You look wonderful, and love seeing you here. It makes my day better. And I sit
Well,
down across from them.
I tell you now, Ota, you are not going to get my coin the way you did the last time. So
Oh,
this is how we're going to play this out. So
yeah.
you can just do a straight resistance roll if you want to relieve stress, or you can take option number 2, and that is give me a finesse roll with a bonus die for Ota and any other of the mechanics you want to use, devil's bargain, pushing, etc. And depending on how successful you are, will determine how much actual coin you make off of her, and will give you additional die on your resistant or on your recovery roll for reducing your stress.
Option 2. Gotta do
Option
option 2.
So the cards are dealt. You're looking at your hand. Fortunately for you, Eye Patch is looking at hers as well. Go ahead. You can make me a finesse roll with one bonus die automatically from
Eye
your
Patch.
animal companion, Eye Patch. You can push it, but I think that would send you into Trauma Town.
It sure
So-
would.
So it might not be the route you want to go. You could take a
Uh,
Devil's Bargain.
I'm just gonna take the 2 die.
All right, I like
That's
it.
what position are we in?
You are in Risky Standard.
Perfect. I'm
You
happy
can
with
push.
that.
You can push that if you can go Desperate, Great Effect if you want.
I'm okay.
All
I'm
right,
okay.
all right.
Well, Oda's like, no, this is the relaxing time. They don't, this is where they're just like, this is so good to be here, rather than when they haven't. So let's see what we get.
I love it.
Risky standard and 1 bonus die. 2 5s.
Okay, that's
Okay.
a success with consequences.
Yeah.
So you successfully do wheedle out of her another coin. However, we're going to start a clock on you,
Oh, yay.
and the clock is caught cheating.
No, a song
Yes.
about that.
It is going to be a 4 clock with 1 tab already filled. No, just 1. No. Okay, there we go. With 1 tab filled already. Now, when that fills up, you're going to be cut off from your vice purveyor, and you will have to find a new vice purveyor. But you won a coin off her. She's like, "Damn you, Ota."
Thank you.
She gets up in a huff, throws her cards down, and walks out. Now you can indulge your vice.
Okay. And there's just a lovely button for it. I can just
Yep.
click it. Perfect. Just I imagine no bonus dice, just no. Oh, actually, do we have a thing that helps with that right now? The vice den or no?
No, you
not-
guys don't. That doesn't work for you. But you get a
Cool.
bonus die because you successfully gambled.
Oh, perfect.
So instead of rolling 2 dice and taking the less, you'll actually get to roll 1 die.
Got you. A 4.
Okay. So you clear 4 stress.
Awesome. That is excellent.
So you successfully spent your evening gambling in 6 towers. You've irritated the woman you hate, who clearly hates you back. And then we segue over to Biscuits. Biscuits, what do you find yourself doing this evening?
I think Biscuits, like when Placid comes in, Biscuits is lying on a ratty, threadbare chaise longue, and he just kind of looks at Placid, gets up and goes, "Lie down there," grabs his jacket, and on the way out goes, "I'm going out," walks off to find the usual illegal bare knuckle boxing circuit that he spends a lot of his time at.
All right. So you're down at the docks, and there's a. This is where a lot of the bouts happen. It's down. It's under the docks. Actually, it was on an old lower dock. You go down to there, and it's actually a floating platform that's tethered now. So you're duking it out, and you've also got the risk of going in the drink. And you're facing off against a guy that you faced off against before. He's a former Severosi ghost fighter who was caught stealing a horse, and rather than face Severosi justice, fled to Duskval, and his name is Sven. And Sven has been spending all the rest of his time and efforts to attempt to win enough bare knuckle boxing matches so he can earn enough coin to get out of this hellhole that he considers Duskfall. He's stripped down to his pants. He's got big hairy chest and corded muscles. He's kind of going, he's thick across the waist, but you can tell that he's still moving light on his feet. And he's like, "Oh, biscuits, you're back for some more. Come on."
Yeah.
How much coin you willing to put up? And again, I give you the same offer. You can go toe to toe with this guy, and if you beat him, you make some coin. If you don't beat him, you might lose some coin. But regardless, you get a little bump when it comes to dealing with your stress.
I mean, that's what Biscuits came down here for.
All right.
So yeah, he's like got a very loose.
Couldn't
open
handle the
stance.
fact that I'd been beaten up more than you, could you? Had to go
Yeah,
out
no.
and prove.
All right.
And
So
his usually distant stare kind of just locks onto Sven.
and he quickly closes the distance. He clearly wants to get several fights under his belt tonight. So he comes in throwing a wild haymaker. But you're fast. You're fast on your feet. So give me what do you want? What do you think you want to call this? What kind of role you want to do?
Is he like, if I win this, will he go down?
Oh yeah. There's not a clock on this. It's just a straight up.
Then, based on the way I'm going to take him down, I'm going to go with skirmish.
All right. You're in a position where you could push it if you wanted to. You could take a devil's bargain. You could.
What's the devil's bargain?
The devil's bargain is
Like them so much.
regardless of whether or not you win or lose, a fight promoter is going to recognize your skills and kind of remember you from your military days, and you guys will get +1 heat as the pieces of the puzzle start to come together.
I'll take it.
I love it.
So what
So skirmish, your risky standard. You can push it to desperate, great effect if you want.
risky standard will be fine.
I like it. Risky standard. You get your bonus die from the devil's bargain.
Yeah.
Oh, critical.
Yeah. So
Okay.
as
You
the haymaker comes in, Biscuits slaps it away with the outside of his left hand. Both his hands shoot in, smack him on the ears. Elbow as he goes back, pushing his chin up, and then just a straight cross, but he puts his foot down on top of Sven's toes as he does it and lifts his chin up.
So you guys see Sven is just in slow motion, gets extended. His whole body is stretched out. His jaw snaps back, and you hear it. You hear the snap of the jaw breaking. His eyes roll back in his head, and he falls back like a plank onto the dock, completely out. And you have crushed him, earned yourself another coin. But everybody definitely noticed that shot. I mean, people were like, "Oh my God, Biscuits hits like a truck." They don't even know what a truck is, but that's what you hit like. Okay, so with that, go ahead and indulge your vice. And since you got a
Did I get
crit,
bonus?
you get a bonus die for that. And since you got a crit, you can go plus or minus up to 2 on your roll.
Okay.
Okay, so 2, so you can clear 4 stress. You can clear all 4 of your stress. So you walk away feeling like the king of the world. I mean, you have manhandled this huge guy, and everybody's just hollering your name, Biscuits, Biscuits. Come on, stay for another fight, Biscuits. You can take the next guy. The dock is rocking from so many people being excited. Coins are changing hands, but you're walking away with another bag of coin. You doubled your money. As you
Biscuit shakes his head and goes, places to be.
Right, Biscuits, come back whenever you want. You go up to the top of the docks. You see the other dock hands. They're moving around, but you notice that quite a few of the dock hands are kind of giving you ugly looks. I mean, they're not getting in your way. They're not bumping your shoulders or anything, but they're looking at you and they're giving you that eye that says you're not really welcome down here. And you're not 100% sure why, but they definitely have an issue with you. So we're going to swing back around to Placid laying on the Ratty Chaise lounge, fairly beat up and broken. What would you, how would you like to approach your evening?
I would quite like the Physica to do some healing.
Okay. So, so your Physiker, who is one of the sons, one of Dundridge's sons, named Harold. Harold makes a visit to you. His father let him know he's got a shop near here. He's got his own doctor's office near here, but he makes house calls for you. Comes in. Oh, dear. Drogo, what have you gotten yourself into?
It's a minor disagreement.
Minor?
Well, it was a minor disagreement with a wall and a house and a couple of blue coats.
He's got a pretty soft touch. He's like, yeah, those ribs are broken. And looks like you've got some sort of electroplasmic burns across your arms and up the side of your throat.
Yeah.
And every square inch of your body is bruised and bloody. I don't...
I know, right?
Well, here, let me see what I can do for you. Two. So, where was it? No, 2. Yeah. So you click off 1 block of your healing clock. Now you can spend your coin to make that 2 a 4/5, and you would click off a second block of it. Or you can do another round of healing if you'd like.
I think I might do another round of healing.
Okay.
I think
Go ahead.
This might require me to do something a little bit more drastic and get in touch with my friend with benefits.
It's possible. She might be able to help.
She might. One would hope so.
One would hope so. So, okay. So he goes, well, I can... hold on. I'm gonna make a poultice for these ribs, and I've got them. I'm gonna tape them up. Don't breathe too deep, and don't move too much. And they should knit, but I mean these are some pretty bad breaks. Yeah. So go ahead and hit the healing button again. And I did it accidentally for you the first time. Let's see if you do better than I did. It's 1 dice.
Hey.
6. Nice. Okay, so I believe that's 3 blocks. Let me double check on the healing. Yep, 3 blocks. So you clear your healing clock, and your harm gets reduced by 1 step. So we clear your level 1 harm, and your level 2 harm becomes bruised ribs and mild spirit burn, and your level 2 harm is cleared. So you're left with just level 1 harm. You're feeling a bit better, but it has taken 2 of your downtime actions. You can go again if you want, or you want to save your third downtime action for something else.
Well, we have got an extra set of rerolls, so I think we're up to 2 extra downtime actions.
Only one per session, though. Otherwise, it gets too
Fair.
crazy. Now,
Fair.
I mean, you can spend your coin to get an extra downtime.
I think I
if
will
you
do
want.
that, though. I will spend my coin for an extra heal, and then
Okay.
I'm going to do some training with the other downtime.
Okay, so give me that third heal check. So he's working on you. He's putting salves on your bruises. He's trying to find just the right one tick on it. Just the right amount of stuff to get your spirit burns down. He's like, that's the best I can do for you now. You need to rest up a bit.
I should have talked to Quellin.
And as Harold, your physiker, goes to leave, we switch over to the mistress. What's the mistress do for her first downtime?
Well, she racked up quite a bit of stress, but I think there are more important matters afoot. For her first part of her downtime activity, she wants to kind of ask our dearest Drogo. He, him pronouns, right?
Oh no, I'm not running anywhere.
Darling, you must tell me who did this to you.
Oh, bluecoats, you know what they're like. I have a plan. I've got an idea, right? I was thinking that we could set the bluecoats against the remaining Scovelanders. And kill 2 stones by throwing them at each other.
That's certainly how the saying goes. I like your plan, and to that effect, I should need a name. Do you recall the name of the person who ordered this vicious attack upon your person?
Local sergeant.
Local sergeant.
Don't remember his name. I don't think he gave me his
find
name, actually. No, he didn't give me his name. Fists. I could tell you what him and his men looked like if you would have shown me their knuckles. Oh, actually, no, I couldn't because they were covered in me a lot of the time. Yeah, no, probably not a good plan.
A local sergeant shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, I mean, he's on duty at the minute. Probably. Unless he's got off duty, in which case he won't be on duty.
Yeah, I should see where he enjoys his off duty activities then.
Yeah, pass me that bottle
I'm going
before
to-
you go.
Yes. Again, spare no expense with the coffers. We had a good run.
Yeah.
You deserve some R&R. You've earned it. She's going to go out and try to find exactly where the cops enjoy their downtime activities. Now, this might be something of starting a clock on a long-term project, or you might just say, I can do this, but she wants to get in with the sergeant and maybe even the higher ups. Not sure.
We're going to
above a
start
sergeant.
making
I think.
friends with the blue coats. Not necessarily friends, but I know what you mean, and you know what you mean.
Yes.
That is going to be an 8 piece clock to get in, get to know them all, find out where they hang out, so you can, if you want to prepare for some sort of retribution, you can. So all I need for that is for you to make me either a consort or sway roll.
I would love to make either. I'll go with consort though, because I assume I'm going to be flipping through my usual connections until I find someone who knows exactly who and where I should be.
Okay. Once again, I mean, you can push it. You can take a devil's bargain. At the moment, it's standard risky.
Okay, standard risky. What would the devil's bargain look like?
Devil's bargain is you're looking into the blue coats and how they do business and who they are. So they start to pay more attention to you. You get +1 heat.
That's kind of the opposite of what I'm trying to manage here. So I'm going to go ahead and not take that, and I'm just going to go for it.
like it.
Pushing would be 2 stress, and I'm trying to avoid that. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'm going to push it. Fuck it.
Okay.
I'll take 1 extra and top 2 onto my stress bar.
All right. And
Ooh,
6.
I shouldn't push
Nice. Nice. It's your first one. Nice. Okay. So we already tick off 3 blocks on that as you are out and about town. So where do you go to make contact with these people? What's this look like?
Well, I think initially, so I suppose that I'm not necessarily new to the area, but I mean, actually, I probably am, of a lot of us, the newest to the area. So I have a few connections here and there. You know what? I'm gonna hit up my good contact and associate Vasco Baz. Of all people, he probably knows, being a gang leader himself, what the deal is with the fuzz around here.
Ah, Madame Bellevue, it is always so good when you come by to see me.
As always, a pleasure to make your to enjoy your company. Sadly, today I'm more on the side of business than pleasure, but rest assured, soon enough.
Well, I've got some business that might interest you as well, but let's talk about your business first.
Oh, of course, I do appreciate the tit for tat. Now recently, we've been making some moves and shaking things up a little bit here and there. You've probably
Oh, I've heard. Oh, the whole town's talking, well, the whole criminal town's talking about what you guys pulled off in Fogcrest. It was impressive. It was
bit of a
impressive.
mixed bag that they're all talking, but you know me, I do love the attention. Now, unfortunately, that attention's gotten to the wrong source. Those who enjoy coats of blue and giving blue eyes to my fellow associates.
Ah, talking
Yeah.
about the coppers, huh? Blue coats roughing up some of your gang.
Indeed, particularly a local sergeant whose name none of us quite caught.
What districts he kept work out of?
I would assume local to the night,
Night market?
Night market, yes.
Ah.
Assume local to the night market.
Okay. I can get you a list of the sergeants that work night market. What shift was he on?
And I would,
Okay.
stay to the best of my ability.
He's like, yeah, that's not a problem. That's not a problem.
Yes.
For you, Asaria, I mean, Madame Bellevue,
Oh,
anything.
please, we're friends. But it's
Hopefully
mistress
more than friends, but
otherwise.
yes, mistress. But since we're on business,
Right.
I got a little bit of something that you might be interested in. You
I'm
see,
all-
there's an occultist, a whisperer or something, working out of Fogcrest in your backyard these days. Comes out of the Dagger Isles, goes by the name of Zhang Shi or something like that. She's tough. She's opened up a vice den up there, and she's selling some opiums and some eel extracts and some frog glands, and she's starting to cut a little bit into my business. Now, it used to be that den that they just stayed up there. They stayed up in Silk Shore, but she took it over, and now she's crimping my style, and I'd like to see her say take a walk and not come back. If it might be something your crew might be interested in. You could even go into business for yourself if you think you'd like that. There's no rush. I know you guys probably trying to lay low for a while, and I can eat this for a bit. And if it's something you're interested in, you can let me know later. But if you are interested in it, I take no claim on that vice den, and I could probably see my way free of sliding 5 coin across to you.
Proprietorship of a vice den would be instrumental for my own personal plans. I think it's certainly something that I'll highly consider. And I
That's
mean
how-
that in most sincerity.
Well, thank you, Madam Bellevue. But yeah, like I said, take your time. I wasn't going to move on her for a month or two anyway. I got some other heat I need to lay off, so you got time to think about it. Just let me know if you and your crew decide that it's something that you're interested in.
You are far too kind. This is an outstanding offer. I'll keep
Looking forward to your next visit. Hopefully that's not for business. Camera
Rest
slides over and we find Lead Belly.
Leadbelly's in the corner of the den, while Rogo's getting attended to by Doc Harry, and he's just like smashing his shoulders into the wall. The dog is not working. I think it's still dislocated.
Oleg, for the love of God, please stop. Just stop. Just
Okay.
stop. Stand still. Let me take a look at you. You've got to get out of all these layers of clothing. And what is that smeared all over your face?
Skin? I don't know. What is there? I don't know.
It looks like some kind of. I mean, it's some kind of glitter or paste or around your mouth. What and nose? What? I don't want to know. I keep telling you that huffing is going to be the end of you. You were such a talented leech.
Well, you're very kind. You're wrong on both accounts, because I say things and way better than what I say when I'm not huffing. And then secondly, I'm quite terrible at everything. I tried to put that together, and I think I made it worse. And don't tell the mistress, but I was messing around with the chair, and I'm afraid it might be slightly off balance now, and I don't want to know what's going to happen when she finds out. So
I
just blame it on
will not-
biscuits.
It's doctor-patient confidentiality. Oleg, you're fine. Let me just take a look at your shoulder, and your collarbone is broken. What if?
I thought it was dislocated. That makes so much sense now. I should probably stop smashing it against the wall.
Stop. Please let me take a look at it. So I'm assuming your first downtime is going to be healing?
Yes.
All right. Give me a healing roll.
Dice 1. Let's see. That's a 6.
6. Nice. So that's 3 blocks on your healing clock.
And then once he's done, I'll be like,
Now you
Let me
can.
see.
You can spend 1 coin to improve that to
Oh,
a
yeah.
critical and just clear it.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. But
Okay.
in the fiction, I'm like,
Wait, I don't know if you got it all. Let me see. No, it still hurts.
and
Oleg.
I'll spend a coin to make it a critical.
So he takes the
goodness.
coin from me and he's like, listen, I'm going to set this. I've got a way of fixing this now. Please do not smash it anymore. So that
6.
reduces your broken collar. Get rid of your bruised shoulders completely and reduces your broken collarbone to a bruised collarbone.
Okay.
And it has no negative effect of you on you at the moment.
I don't know what you did. You set. What was it again? You set something?
Yes, it's in place. Let it heal. I don't want to have to go in there and pin it. So just
Okay.
be gentle.
Feels good. Feels really good.
Do
I
not
think
hit
it's
it.
pretty
Oleg,
sturdy.
Do
Look.
not. Oleg. Oh, look.
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote, Oleg. Ears open, mouth shut. Do not touch your collarbone.
His mouth just hangs open. He doesn't know how to do that.
And the doctor walks away. And that brings us back to Ota, Bangle, Wazuki, and Eye Patch. For your next downtime activity, what do you think you would be getting into? You've made some
Well,
coin off your gambling. You're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Definitely. And you know what Oda's thinking about these days is how Eyepatch got hurt last time. They took a hurt. And Oda's like, I can get armor for myself. And would like to try to get maybe an asset of small sized armor.
So you want a permanent suit of armor for Eye Patch.
I was thinking more like for just like it would like like one time use, like once it gets
Okay.
used up it would then be broken and gone.
Oh yeah,
But I meant-
absolutely. So instead of a project, you're just looking to gain an asset, acquire an asset.
Correct.
All right, let's do it.
Nice. What do we do?
So you roll your cruise tier, which is 0. And the result indicates the quality of the asset you get based on the cruise tier. So for you, that means you roll 2 dice and take the lower. So do a
Cool.
fortune roll.
Nice. I shall. Boop, boop. What did I get?
Nice, nice. You got a
Nice.
6 and a 5. So a 5. On a 5, it is your tier. So it's a quality 0 suit of temporary armor for eye patches. Now you can spend a coin to make it to increase the quality by 1, so it would become fine.
Yeah, I'll do that since I like this is easy money from Lady Kellis. I just
You've got an
use it.
ablative monkey.
So describe to me who you go to, where you go to get this suit of armor fitted for eye patch.
I make my way down to wherever the orphanages are, or like maybe not the orphanages, but like the slums, but where it's like all like just like the I guess the kids are, and basically kind of find like the person that handles them, kind of like their den mother, we'll say, who wants to, of course, keep their kids safe. So they make sure to get small armor. They finely small crafted armor for children.
Okay, so
And so I make my way, and I kind of, I see where the kids are, and I'm like, oh, I give them I give them some biscuits from what Biscuits has given me. I'm sure, I pull out, I'm like, here, can where's your mother? And like, here you go.
oh yeah, we don't have no mother. Arlo takes care of us.
Oh, well, where's Arlo?
Oh, Arlo.
Sorry.
Old Arlo Fagan. He runs the boys down here.
Oh.
And he takes you by hand and he walks you into this ramshackle house and then down into a basement. And you see the fattest Akarosi man you've ever seen in your life. He's got to be 400 pounds. In an immaculate suit, though, with a top hat on the table and 2 canes to help him walk. And he's sitting back in this huge chair. And he goes, right, boy, who do you got there for me?
I am Oda Bangle, but I'm not here for myself. I'm here for my fine friend, lifelong companion, Patches. And then Patty comes out of my vest and on my shoulder, and I'm like, since you have so many small-sized employees, I was wondering if you might have a small-sized protection that I could acquire and use for my friend here.
So let me understand. You want some protection for your monkey?
Correct. Some armor.
I'm gonna
This isn't
close
all
my eyes.
euphemisms.
Yes, armor, not protection. Armor.
Got it. All right. Listen here. I'm a businessman, so I'm gonna close my eyes, and if there ends up being a small bag of gold, say, I don't know, a coin's worth, on my desk when I open my eyes, I am pretty sure that I can find you a fine suit of armor for your monkey.
Yeah. Did he close his eyes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Eyes closed. Opens it back up.
I have put the coin down.
Weighs the bag. He goes, boy, go get that knife fighter suit. He don't need it anymore. And he brings you this reinforced leather jerkin. He's like, there you go. That should hold up pretty well for a little while. I mean, it takes too many hits, that thing's going to break apart, but You want anything more permanent, always feel free to come back and talk to Arlo Fagan.
Well, Arlo, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you very much. And I
And
put some biscuits down on the table for him.
he looks at you, he's like, all right, kid, get him out of here.
He thought he'd like food, but okay, and I leave.
Remember,
Go
it'll
up
last longer if you don't let anyone spank your monkey.
So we see Wazuki heading up the stairs, and then we slide over and we see Biscuits heading down the dock. What's he doing? It's late afternoon. It's dark. The docks smell like fish and goods. The dock hands are still giving you the evil eye, but nobody's approached you. Where is Biscuits headed now?
Biscuits is, I mean, there's a few things tumbling through his mind. He doesn't like how Placid got roughed up. And he's rolling with that idea. He's gonna try and head down near to a blue coat precinct and find some little kid and be like, "Hey, come here a second. Got a job for you."
What you got, mister?
I'm
Now is
gonna
this,
try
are
and
you back? Are
reduce
you
the
back?
heat on us.
Okay, cool. What do you got, mister?
See this brick?
Yeah, I see the brick.
See this wrapping around the brick?
Yeah, I do see that wrapping around the brick. Yeah.
If you see that window over there, and I'll point at the precinct.
Oh, yeah, I see that window.
You break it, I'll pay you. You crack one of them on the head with it as it goes in, I'll give you this. And I'll pull out, I assume, like, the wrapping around it is part of the Scovland uniforms that we probably have lying around now. And the knife is one of their knives.
Okay. He goes, so you want me to throw this brick through that window and try to hit a blue coat with it?
Yeah. How fast can you run?
I mean, I'm pretty fast. I mean, I'm good on the roofs. I mean, I'm not gonna stay on the street if I do this. But how much?
Roofs are fine.
How much are you gonna pay me, there, Mister?
I'll pull out. How much do I reckon the kid will take?
I mean, you could just give him some. You don't have to give him like a full coin or anything. Just give him a couple. Equivalents of a couple shillings, and he'd probably be fine.
A couple of shillings and a biscuit.
He's like, all right, now.
Remember, hit one, you get the knife.
I'm gonna do my best. So what I need you to do is make a fortune roll for the kid. One die. Let's see how he does. He's gonna break the window regardless, but let's see how he does.
Oh.
3. Okay, so he breaks the window, but he doesn't hit anybody, and he is, and probably because he is running before the brick is completely out of his hand, and he is just gone, and it slams through the window. Now, so that was successful, and it's going to successfully reduce heat. But what are you doing? So, what was that action for you to reduce the heat? Was it prowling? Describe, or were you hunting? What were you doing? What do you think?
Well, the idea is I'm trying to pull some heat towards the Scovlanders.
Yep, totally
so that
get that.
They kind of don't have time to bother with us because we're small fry.
It's a hunt roll by setting up a fake trail.
Could be. I mean,
Yeah.
you tell me how you would think about it. I mean, you did set up.
I think it is a hunt roll because also, Biscuits isn't being nice here. I'm going to give the kid the knife anyway in the hope that if they catch up with the kid, they're also going to link the knife to the Scovlanders as well. So,
Okay. So give me your hunt roll. It's a risky standard. You can push yourself if you want. You can take a devil's bargain if you want.
What's the bargain?
Devil's bargain is you are
Love
going
them
to
so
get
much.
-1 with the grinders. They're a Skovland crew.
Yeah, I think we've got enough Skovland problem at the moment. I mean, the dock workers are already eyeing me up.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'll just roll the risky standard.
Okay. Huh?
There you go.
All right. So with a 6 on reducing heat, you reduce 3 points of heat. So you are actually back down to 0 heat. You're still wanted level 1, but you're 0 heat. So well played. And since we're here with Biscuits and you've got 1 downtime left, what do you think now that Biscuits has successfully set up the Skovlanders? Where would Biscuits go now? What would Biscuits want to do?
Now, Biscuits is going to start his personal long-term project, which is finding out who amongst the spooks in Imperial military intelligence set his section up.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, so it's going to be a couple of clocks. The first clock is just a 4-piece clock, and it's going to be make contact with a snitch in Imperial Int. So you got to make contact with a snitch in Imperial Intelligence. It's a 4-piece clock. How would you go about doing that? So where would you go? Who would you talk to? What kind of role would you be making?
There's always a bar, isn't there?
No,
and I just need to find that bar.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so you'd probably go out out of the city towards. You'd probably go over around. There's a couple bars around the Spark grounds up in Silk Shore where a lot of the military hang out. So you could try there.
Yeah.
Probably your best bet. So you walk into this bar. And once you get out here, you come down Taffeta Road, you get towards the ring water, you get close to the Spark grounds, and the buildings are immaculate. And they're 3 or 4 stories. They're wider than a whole block in some other areas of the city that are made of marble. And there's a well-dressed doorman. You wouldn't even recognize this as a pub in other parts of the town, but here, it's O'Henry's Pub. And you see, there's several different you can see sitting at tables, everybody in there almost is wearing a military uniform.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get inside.
They let you right in. I mean, they don't discriminate. You've got the look of a veteran about you, regardless, so they let you in. You hear the doorman asks, "Are you here meeting someone?"
Yeah, but yeah, one of those things, never quite completely clear of stuff. Sometimes they need a hand or two from us old hands.
Oh, I understand. Spent 30 years myself in service before I retired and got this cushy gig here at the pub. But you feel free to go into the bar unless you've got questions of me.
Oh, you seen any spooks come in?
Oh, make a roll for me. What do you think you'd be rolling here? Or what do you want to roll here?
Feels like a sway kind of roll, which I'm not great at, but It
does feel like that. So, I mean, you can push yourself. You've got no stress at the moment. You could take a devil's bargain. You could You're currently, I'm going to go risky standard. This guy's used to trading in information. That's what doormen do. So he's not adverse to talking to you.
I'm gonna push it.
Okay. Oh. Okay, so that's all 1, 2, 3. So that's a failure. However, we're in downtime, so you can spend a coin. Basically, you can hand this guy a coin to make that a 4-5 and get a partial success if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So he takes, at first he's like, I don't like to talk about those. Oh, I see. Oh, that's very kind of you. Donation to the veterans' homes. I see what you're doing there. Listen, you didn't hear from me, my friend, but if you come back at the silver hour, right towards the end, sit at the far end of the bar, there'll be a man. He's got big mutton chops and won't be wearing a uniform, but he'll have a derby hat on the bar in front of him. He used to be a spook, and he got railroaded out of the service unexpectedly. But he's still got contacts. He might be someone that you could talk to. So
Seems
that
like the kind of guy I'm here to meet.
that
Thanks.
fills up 2 segments of your clock. Make a contact with a snitch. And that takes care of Biscuit's downtime. Let's take it back around to, unless you want to spend additional coin on additional downtime.
I'll leave it at that for now.
Okay, that brings us back around to Drogo. I think you were going to take one more downtime.
Yes, from the reroll that we got. I would. Oh, decisions. Do I train or do I start a clock? I am going to start a clock, if I may. I would like to start a clock for sourcing a ritual called Not the Face.
Not the face. Okay, so this is also going to be a multi-layer clock. So first, you got to find the ritual.
Yep.
And that's a 4 clock. So basically, that's however you want to go about trying to find the ritual. So what would you do to go secure this information?
I am. Well, at this point, I'm just finding out about it by talking to my strange friend with benefits.
Oh, it's so good to. You still look like shite. What happened to you?
Blue coats. You should have seen the other guy.
Really?
Yeah, he had my blood all over him.
That sounds like the Drogo I know.
Yeah.
So what has brought you by?
Right, well, this, partly. I like... You like my face. I like my face. We like my face.
Indeed, I do.
I heard... Now, I heard it from a bloke in a pub who was drunk as shit, so it could be a lie, but I heard there was a ritual that you could do that would, like, armor your body against being attacked. It's like a curse luck thing where they hit you and it goes somewhere else. You know what I mean? You heard of it?
Yeah. I've heard of that. It's been used in the past. That's old sorcery, but yeah, I've heard of rituals like that.
Yeah,
Never seen one myself.
Well, yeah, I was thinking, if I could learn how to do that, it'd be really useful because I wouldn't get beaten so much, and I could, do more crazy stuff. It'd be fun.
Well, anything that keeps you out of harm's way is a good plan, in my opinion.
So we like to hear.
So what's your first step? I'm going to be honest with you. There's some pretty powerful occultists walking around this town who might be able to help you. But really, if you want to get to somebody who actually would talk to you, there's some that Skurlock's not going to talk to you, but you might be able to go convince the Dimmer sisters to give you a hand with this.
I guess, yeah, maybe.
There's some others around town, but I try to stay out of that side of the house.
Yeah.
Mainly, it gets once you start dealing in combat magic, that gets a little.
Yeah.
People start to notice you.
Yeah. Well, I guess I might just
I
sort
mean,
of.
I've got some books and some scrolls here. I mean, you might be able to piece together the beginnings of something from here if you want. But
Let me start off by checking the flow. Like
yeah,
get
okay.
in touch with the field, see what's out there, because something like that will leave a ripple, won't it? So if I'm not going anywhere for a bit, and I don't think I'm going to read a book right now, so I'm just going to do a little bit of thinking, meditating, get in touch with the field.
Okay. You know what? That's a pretty good idea. Maybe if you attune to the field
Yeah.
and focus on what you're looking, you might actually get a pull or something that might lead you in the right direction.
All right, I'm gonna give that a go then. Good thinking.
Risky standard. You can push it. You can take a devil's bargain. You can make it desperate great. All options on the table.
I think it's going to have to be a desperate great.
All right. I love it. Desperate great. Do you want to push yourself? Do you
And
want
I
to take a
will
devil's bargain?
also push it, but
I like
I'm
it.
not going to take the devil's bargain. It's too stressed to push, isn't it?
Correct.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh. So, because it's a downtime activity. Oh, you have no coin left. Sorry. So
but
then
we have some coin in the bank, and I believe the mistress said I could spend a little if it was an emergency, which I feel this might just be. Unless anybody wants me to get electrocuted, in which case we could do that too, because it's also funny.
I did
let's
say, feel
see
free to
what you
dip
got.
into the coffers.
there are 3 coin in the Red Ledger's stash at the moment. So if you want to spend one of those,
If I may.
then that makes your roll a 4-5, and on a 4-5 you get 2 blocks off. Since it's a downtime activity, I mean, you attune, and what happens is you feel the ghost field first. You're getting nothing. It's actually almost like it's repelling you. But as you kind of tune in and you start thinking about it and focusing on it more as an abjuration, a warding effect, you start to feel a pull, and you think you've got a line on where this type of ritual magic has been performed in the past. So that's what it's doing. It's geographically linking you to a location where this kinds of magic has been performed. And you think that might be the best place to go to actually find this ritual or find someone who had cast it before.
Excellent.
All
Another
right.
time, perhaps.
So Quellen is watching you attune to the field. This takes a few hours, and while this is going on, we fade back over to the mistress. Does the mistress have any downtime activities left?
She has
Got
2,
one
I
left,
believe.
or- Yes, you
So,
do.
Now we know many things about nobles or people of noble descent, right? We know that they're humans just like the rest of us with vices of their own. So we know as well that they are good Samaritans who truly care for the lower people. I have a question for you, darling GM. Is there anything akin to a wartime hospital in this city? Somewhere that
Wartime
kind of is desperate for people to do really grotesque things to others
Let's
if
see.
they volunteer.
There is, if you go down into the Dunslow labor camp, there's a field hospital there for laborers. If you are looking specifically for a veteran hospital, then you're going to be looking in.
She's looking for anybody who will take anybody to do anything, so long as they're,
that's going to be
interested in some grotesqueness.
That's going to be the Dunslow ghetto. So you would go down, you'd go across the bridge at Dunville Way. Iron Hook Prison would be on your right side as you make your way down Dunville Way. Then you cut across on the Sac. Bless you. onto Sackcloth Road and then down into the Dunslow Ghetto. And there is a hospital there.
Indeed. Well, to the point, she doesn't particularly want to show her face, nor does she want to breathe in the air or get infected by, presumably, the various miasmas of this locale. So she will be wearing a face mask as she approaches. And if I also may state, this is probably not her first time coming here, because she's probably indulged her vice before, which is to say, she just likes to help the surgeons out on the amputations and things.
So, this hospital serves a lot of the Dunslow labor camps, and they do a lot of work in the mire and in the mines, and working in the radiant glow fields. So there's always people hurt, badly hurt. What name do you give when you walk into the hospital? There's a harried-looking nurse behind the counter as you walk in.
Lady Sandwell. It's rather,
Lady Sandwell, so good to see you again. Thank you. You are an angel to come back and help. They always tell me when you leave, she'll never be back with the horrors that poor lady has seen, but you'll always come back. You're a saint among saints.
When I see the issues that these people have to face, it moves my heart, and I can't help but think that they need assistance of any kind, and that's what I'm here to provide.
Well, the surgeons right now, they're getting a poor lad. Well, I mean, not really a lad. He's pushing several years for a minor, but he was in a partial cave-in and his leg was crushed. I think they're in there trying to save it right now. I'm sure you could be of assistance to the doctors. And she leads you into a surgery suite, and I mean, you're walking down this tight, cold hall. It's dark because they've only got one radiant globe about every 20 feet. And off to the left, you see the surgery suite, and you can hear the screams coming from in the room because they don't have enough money or enough wherewithal to even provide any kind of anesthesia for these patients. So you go in and you see this guy strapped to a table, rawhide in his mouth, and the doctor's working furiously to save his leg. There's one assistant in there, a young teenager who looks like obviously in training to be a physicker of some kind, but they're so short-staffed, there's just nobody else available to help. What is it? I don't have to. Oh, it's you. Lady, if you've got hands to spare, please come.
Yes, please. Tell me what to do, and I shall do all that is in my power to assist this poor lad.
He hands you a clamp and he says, "Clamp onto that artery right there. I'm trying to save this leg."
All right. And I clamp hard.
And we see a montage of this surgery going
on.
We can blood splattering and blah, blah, blah. And but you work through it, and you work through it with this doctor, and you drink in the suffering of this individual and the hope. I mean, the prayers that this guy has that his leg is going to be saved. And actually, make me this guy's he's not a bad surgeon. Make me a fortune roll with 2 dice.
Very well. Let's see, where's my fortune die? Oh, there we are. 2 dice.
Manages to save the leg, sew the guy up, and doesn't look like he's going to lose any of his mobility. So the surgeon, he's like, "Oh, lady, I couldn't have done it without you. I didn't have enough hands, but you say I'm going to tell him who his true savior is, and he will be saying prayers to the night goddess every night in your name." But
I don't ask for prayers. I just want to help these poor souls.
You are far too kind, lady, and we always relish your visits. But I do believe that probably also had a secondary effect for you of indulging
Yes, can I roll my indulge my vice?
You can indeed.
She's a sick fuck. I'm sorry.
So you clear 4 stress, so you're down to just 2 stress left.
Ah, lovely. That did it for me. Wonderful.
So you're walking out
Uh,
of Dunslow Ghetto. I'm assuming you have a spare set of clothes hidden somewhere that you can change into and get out of the bloody rags you're in right now. And as you tear those off, and Madame Bellevue returns as she walks back across the bridge, where does she go? What does she do?
well, there's always a party somewhere on the Silk Shore, right?
Absolutely.
She's going to practice her chitter chatter with the locals. Or rather, yes, I think she'll practice her resolve skills, if that's all right.
Okay, so absolutely. So looking at your red ledger sheet, when you do training, you can train in either insight or prowess and get 2 dice, or you can train in the other and get 1 dice, whichever you prefer.
No, you're right. You're right. You know
But in
what?
resolve, you
Actually, no. I think maybe she'll go back to her to our meeting room, and she'll try to see if Lewis, what's your character? Spence, if Biscuits is back.
Biscuits is actually there. He's looking very pleased with himself. He's had a good night. He's
So have I.
done some good things in his opinion, and he is back.
So have I.
Take it away.
Lewis, darling, you're back early.
It was.
Sorry, Biscuits, darling.
It's fine. That's what the grim-faced, forgettable man thing is about.
My apologies.
Anyway,
Really.
no,
Usually
it was
that's
slow night.
wonderful. I did some charitable services myself. You know, in that last encounter, I found myself in close quarters with an enemy, and it strikes me that I'm not particularly skilled in those regards. Might you instruct me on the basics of posturing if one were to skirmish close hand sort of stuff? You strike me as particularly skilled in those regards.
And at
So-
that, go ahead.
First things first. Legs a bit wider. If a pig can't get through them, you're gonna fall over.
Yes. I don't.
And the moment she does that, Biscuits is gonna throw a swing at her.
So we go into this training montage. The Eye of the Tiger comes up. The music is blaring. We get a little boxing practice, and the mistress picks up 2 pips in prowess. And that takes us back to Leadbelly. I think you have 1 downtime left.
2 if
2.
I count the reroll.
Yes, you
I
do.
probably will. Okay, so old Leadbelly's gonna go stargazing. Now, that's what he calls finding his good pal Vildren, his fellow seeker of the stupor, and we want to seek out the stars. Now, not the stars in the sky, because there ain't nothing up there. Not the stars underneath, but the stars that come to you when the right combination of gases and chemicals got wafted up into your face. I've got it listed as the harping monkey, but I'm more than willing to give over to you, Mr. GM, a better locale for such a task.
No, I think that's fantastic. So what's it look like when you go there? And what does Veldrin look like?
So I see Vildren as basically the same as me. Slender, well built, handsome, with a very debonair beard, full head of hair, and eyes that you can just kind of lose yourself in. Is sort of so basically we're like twins, except he's about a foot taller and he's got a delicious smile and all sorts of wonderful things. So really, something like that. And he's well dressed, I should say too, as we both are. Smells like daisies. Not that I know what a daisy smells like, but I think it smells like Vildren.
And what does this location look like?
So I imagine that it is a tavern, but it's not necessarily the most reputable one in Night Market, and there are various sub-locations within it. I think the basic room, common room, whatever you want to call it, you get your standard fare, you get your various alcoholic beverages and such, and people smoking or imbibing your normal things. But those who want to get closer to the stars, well, they go upstairs. And by upstairs, I mean into an attic, probably, where there's no roof, as everyone just gets all up in the chemicals and they stare off into the dark sky and see that moon getting way too close to us and just waiting for something else to pop up. There goes. Who knows what's out there? Something better than here, that's for sure.
Oh, Oleg, Oleg, the moon. You're late. Come, join me and look at the moon.
Has it hit us already? Did I miss it?
It's so close, Oleg. You've got to catch up. I can touch it with the tip of my nose.
Okay. Hang on. Don't touch it. Wait for me.
As I will just, I'll have plinking on
My character, all sorts of various mason jars and little bags of powders and such, and with no amount of embarrassment, just start shoving it in my face and my eyes, various things like that. And I will lay down on these mats that are horribly stained with. No one really wants to know what. It's just stained. We consider it a mortal design at this point, and I'll just stare up next to him, and I'll tell him about my childhood, which I don't really have memories of, so I'm really just making stuff up. So, yeah.
And the moon gets closer and closer as you and your psychonaut buddy Veldrin fade off. But what? How does that help your stress?
Let's find out. All right. Veldrin, old buddy, old pal.
So it
terrible.
Deuces
I hate
one.
you. Get out of here.
But you do have one downtime left, so you could
I
stay.
should probably continue to do this. Yeah, I probably should. I'm pretty high.
So
And
you
I know
stay
meaning to
throughout the
goodbye.
night and into the following morning. The moon starts to shrink back, but you and Veldrin are still there. So give me another roll.
Okay. We've cleared the place out, I think. I don't know. You're never really certain if there's anyone up here with you. Sometimes you wake up, you're all alone, and you've been talking to yourself for 7 hours. Who knows?
And you do notice that Veldrin is gone, actually, when you turn over to say that.
Maybe he was never here to begin with. I don't know.
Okay, so you're down to 2 stress, and you're feeling better. You're feeling better about yourself in the morning. You leave, and you're making your way back to the secret entrance to your lair. And Dundridge Senior comes out. Oh, Mr. Brine.
What?
Yes,
that's me. Yes, I am Mr. Brine.
yes, Mr. You're the first of my special friends who I've seen today. I wanted to let you know, an individual came by and dropped off a letter that apparently they at least know that we're somehow associated, but it's addressed to your crew, to the Red Ledges. And I just wanted to hand it over to you. It's still sealed. There's some other mail for you, but I've already taken that back and given it to the others.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'll open it, and then I'll open it in front of him and just start reading it out loud.
Okay, let's see what it says here. Oh, I should probably not do that, shouldn't I? So I'm gonna
Yeah,
back.
I think it's best that I not hear anything else about Ulf Ironborn.
Right, that's the guy who wants to kill us.
I don't want to hear anything more about. Mr. Bryan, I appreciate your discretion, and as always, you are welcome at the back of my shop. Have a lovely day.
You too. Thank you. This was very educational.
Indeed, sir.
And then I'll go in the secret way, and like as I open the door, and I'll scream at the top of my lungs, "Hey, we got a letter about that guy who wants to kill us." Close the door behind.
Play, let me see that.
Hey, there you go.
I'll hand it over, and then I'll sit at my bucket at the table, because that's what I have, is a bucket I sit on.
It says, so that there can be no misunderstanding, I will seek all of your deaths immediately. Signed, Ulf Ironborn. You are officially at war. Your holding goes down to weak, and you know that you've got somebody after you.
But on the
Happy chap.
upside, he was nice enough to let us know, which I
Yes.
appreciate in
He's
a nemesis.
He's a military man, and he wanted to make it very clear, because he needed also the Skovlin refugees and others to understand that he was not going to take this lying down. So I'm going to give you a quick peek at where the factions stand that you guys are somewhat involved with based on your first score and your friends and associates.
Do we still have time that I can get my third downtime in, or no?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had done all three. Nope, go right ahead.
No, I just did 2.
He's a
I'm just
hurt,
gonna.
man.
I'm just gonna go back gambling.
Okay. So you
So
walk back that night. The regulars aren't there, but they let you in. It's actually in the middle of the day at this point. It's still dark out, obviously, but there are fewer people here. But there are card games going on, and once again, the bouncers nod you through. Ah, back again already, Mr. Bangle. Always good to have you at the table. Drums up interest.
exactly, and I lean into them and say, is there anyone at any of the tables right now that just is going double or nothing at this point? Looks like they're about to lose it all.
Oh, I mean, if you go over and see that table there, that's Lord Dundridge's son, and he seems to be in his cups and throwing away money.
Oh, well, I better get my hands in those pockets.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. Enjoy.
Oh, thank you. And I pat him on the back, and I make my way to the table, sit across from this noble son, and I'm like,
Oh, somebody else to take their money. All right, deal us in. Same deal. You can either just indulge your vice straight up, or you can do some gambling and see how it comes out for you.
I will do some gambling.
All right. So eye patch is deployed. You've got
Oh yeah,
finesse with 1 bonus die for eye patch.
cool. And it's if we're in downtime and I do a desperate, does that still give me an XP and prowess?
It does, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll push it in that sense. So I'll push it to desperate.
Okay.
Um,
Desperate, great effect.
cool. And I will. What's my devil's bargain gonna look like?
Your devil's bargain here is that Lord Dundridge's son, even though he's drunk at the moment, is not stupid, and he is going to know that you cheated him.
So we'll put one more. We'll put another thing on caught cheating, or he'll just know.
No, he'll know. He will know.
Oh,
that you were cheating.
yeah. Let's do it
Okay.
for the extra bonus die. Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. A 6, a 4, and a 2.
Okay. 6. So no more. Nobody catches you. I mean, outside of Lord Dundridge.
Yep.
And sadly, though. Oh yes, you get your coin, and you get your extra die for your indulge. So
Oh,
indulge
sweet.
your vice.
Cool. A 3.
3. So you are down to 1 stress. And you got an extra coin, but Lord Dundridge's son knows you cheated him. I'm
That's
sure
okay.
that will not come back at you at all. So
Thank you.
that fading out, the rest are back at your lair, having just found out that Ulf Ironborn has officially declared war against you. How that affects you guys, or where you're standing with your factions. So obviously the Thorns, that's the name of the gang that you work for. That's Ilyana's crew. You're a two with them, so they're friendly with you. And because she works for the Hive, which you kind of guessed because she was wearing a bee pendant, the Hive, you're at one with the Hive. They know you exist, and they're okay with that. However, that makes the Silver Flames a little iffy about you. And the Crows, because you were associated with the Hive, have some problems with you, and the Grinders, and the Skovland refugees are both at -1 with you because they're Skovlanders, and Ulf Ironborn has gone to war with you. The Dockers, as Biscuit saw, because of their heavily Skovland themselves, have some issues with you. And in Crow's Foot, you're not as welcome as you would be in Silkshore or Night Market. That's roughly where you're at. Several of those factions themselves are working towards their own advancements. We'll be doing between now and next week on the Garblag Discord, we'll be looking at the Crows, who are attempting to rise in tier, the Grinders, who are trying to fill their war treasury, the Lamp Blacks, who want to become the bosses of Crow's Foot, and those are your friends, the Hive, that is looking to avenge Rorik's murder, and Ulf Ironborn, if he survives his war with you, is going to try once again to carve out some gang territory. Finally, we see Wazuki come back to the lair. You guys know that you're at war, but that doesn't mean that you have to deal with that right away, or you could try to talk to Ulf without fighting him. Anything you do while you're at war is a little bit more difficult. So looking around the table, how do you guys think you want to make your next bit of coin? You worked through some of it already. You're already feeling a little lighter in your vault.
All right.
Mistress did have some interesting information.
Well, apart from the letter of war declaration, I did have something to bring to the table. Relay that.
Okay. And also, actually, and I forgot to mention this, while you were visiting Quellen, she actually said that she had a little problem that if you had time to look into, she would appreciate it. She made a bit of a mistake, and she needs some help dealing with it. She didn't seem too urgent about it, but it's something that you could to look at. Do you guys have any thoughts? Deal with Ulf, get a vice den, help out a friend.
I like the idea of getting a vice done. Sounds fun.
Yeah, but I also think that'd be a lot easier to do if we weren't at war with a known psychopath and mass murderer.
That's true.
Could we
Been at
just
war
murder
with the
him?
Scovers before.
Yeah, I know, and we won. So let's just get it out of the way
Yeah.
before it has a chance to sort of take hold. Yeah, I mean,
So a big hole in his head.
yeah,
That good
we
enough?
disappear people, right? We could disappear him.
Yeah.
He's a little bit tougher than us. He's got a crew and a couple of his boys around, but
Everyone's alone sometime.
yeah, but he's also grabby, and that means he's got a lot of stuff that we can take away.
True. I
You
mean,
make a good point. I could look around to see if anybody is willing to sponsor us if we were to do that.
I'm sure there are plenty of people that would not be upset if there wasn't an Ulf Ironborn. Maybe there's even a bounty. Who knows?
Right. But we are assassins. We get paid to do this kind of
Yeah, that's
thing.
what
We
I
don't
mean, a
just
bounty.
willy-nilly murder people. It's bad for business.
That's true.
Like-
That's true.
We don't.
So we find someone to pay us to kill Ulf Ironborn, and then
Precisely.
we blow his head off.
I don't get me
Yes,
wrong. I quite
excellent.
like the idea of killing this ghost dealer of yours. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. Ghosts
Yes.
just
Can we get them both in a similar
piss me
place?
off. Different
Sounds like a bit of a
circles.
part pull, but
And, you know, well, I'd also quite like to sort of help out Quellen a little bit, because...
right. We are, after all, a multifaceted organization.
Well, yeah, let's pick one. Pick one thing.
I say we go after Small Fry first, and in the meantime, we figure out who exactly wants this man dead, so that we can benefit from killing him when we do. Because obviously, war is not a fun pursuit. Peacetime is
Gives
better
us
for
time
money.
to work out when and how he finds himself most vulnerable as well.
True.
Precisely.
But option B,
Hmm?
if we do him first, we're not going to be looking over our shoulders. And also, we're moving quickly, decisively, taking action. That'll do our reputation power a good. And our reputation will be
but-
then what drives future business endeavours.
Then we've got to log of Ironborn's body around until we can find someone who
Someone
wants
will
to
pay
pay
us.
for
I mean,
it.
that's not difficult, is it? We're going to find someone that wants Ulf Ironborn dead. Yeah, we'll find a
You're not
sponsor for
wrong.
that. That's like a 5-minute job for Missy. Right?
True.
You know, we talk at a couple of bars, you find the right person, you're like, hey, we could do that for you for some money, and we're away.
Bars aren't exactly where I go to find somebody who's willing to pay the kind of coin that man,
Detail.
Mr. Iron, would proffer us potentially. I think,
Right, so
there are
we got two
bigger
choices
fishes
then.
to fry.
Yeah, we got two choices.
Right. I think I'm weighing in on killing the ghost dealer and figuring out exactly how best to profit from killing Ulf.
Ghost Witch,
So Leadbelly.
Psycho
Leadbelly
Killer.
will like wins every time the mistress, her chair kind of wobbles, and it's like, oh, I agree with the mistress. She's right.
All right,
And not me.
that's 2 for Ghost Witch and 1 for winning the war before it starts.
oh,
I mean,
there's a
shooting-
second for killing Ulf.
Oh no, Biscuits has to make
Biscuits?
a decision.
Darling,
What about the monkey?
Biscuits
Do they
gonna-
not get a vote?
monkey doesn't get a vote.
Monkey doesn't get a vote.
We didn't do this before.
Eye patch just looks so sad.
Biscuit's gonna look
I
down
gestured
there.
to a fruit bowl. That's why we have so many bananas.
Yeah. Do not
Who's
open the
gonna eat
cupboard
them all? I
because
don't
that's
even
full of
like
bananas too.
bananas. Biscuits, please. Your vote.
Biscuit's gonna look down at his rifle and his pack of stuff, stick his hand in, close his eyes, and randomly pull out of a bag of biscuits. Custard creams, Ulf Ironborn, chocolate obnobs. We do the ghost job.
It's in the hands of
Can I-
fate.
Yeah. Can I make a fortune roll for that?
You certainly can.
But which is which?
Odds Ulf, evens the ghost whispery person.
It's a custard cream.
Chocolate
And
obnob.
this is your fault.
Wait, which one was it? It was the.
It's
it
your
was
one,
the
yeah.
best-
Yeah.
It was custard. So we're going after loaf after all.
That was the
No,
chocolate
it was the
hobnob.
chocolate hobnob.
It's-
I got the
Ow!
biscuits the wrong way around.
Mix them up in my head.
Yeah, me too.
Biscuits are not my usual counting mechanism.
Well, Ziki, this is your fault. You've got to
Biscuits will
stop
open
stealing
the
his
packet
biscuits.
and put it on the table.
Right, yes. I suppose this was all hinging upon which ones were predominantly inside of that bag. Either way, I like the outcome. But rest assured, this war will be handled swiftly and at great profit to us.
I am completely confident in the abilities of this crew, and I fear that we have made a reasonable choice based on the information at hand.
So we've got a few minutes. Would you like to do a little bit of information gathering on your target?
Entirely down.
Yeah.
How would you do? What would you do? How are you going to go about finding info on this?
So we have a name, we have an occupation, we have a location, and we have a couple other reasonable routes to go about. I'm willing to let somebody else go first, if you would like.
Biscuits will scout out the location.
Would
Skip
Bit of
would
Like it.
Biscuits mind if Waziki and Eyepatch joined them? Since now they're
No problem. Yeah.
two more sets
sure.
of eyes.
If you get spotted, I'll disappear though. Just so you know.
I won't get spotted. It's okay.
Now remember, since this shop since this Vice Den is in Fogcrest, you get +1 die to every one of your gather information rolls because this is your hunting grounds. So tell me what you do. So you're walking through the streets of Fogcrest. You're approaching where the location where this Vice Den is. You actually know it's on a dock, and then it goes down to a lower dock, and it's basically a floating building attached to this lower dock that actually has a permanent covered walkway that actually goes into a sunken grotto, which is actually where most of the actual Vice Den is. The front half of the shop kind of looks like an apothecary.
Fancy.
Biscuit's gonna have a look around the front, but then he's going to commandeer a rowboat or something and just have a little bit of a leisurely paddle on the water.
Okay. What kind of information are you looking for?
Entrances, exits, easy places to spot people.
Okay.
Places we could potentially make holes in.
Entry point.
What kind of skill do you think you want to
into
use
it?
for this?
Feels like a fairly hunty skill.
Sure, I can go for that. Risky standard. Obviously, all the options are available to you. You can push, devil's bargain.
What's
change.
the devil's bargain?
The devil's bargain here is you're noticed by a group of Scoveland refugees in this area of Fogcrest, looking in this area.
Yeah.
You don't know how that's going to affect you, but you will see that you get seen by Scoveland
I
refugees.
could imagine how it affect us. That's the thing.
With me being there, am I able to like help at all by doing
you-
like the stress or whatever?
Yeah,
Is that
you
how it
can
works?
you can totally aid him. Yeah, you can take 1 point of stress and give him a bonus die.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take that. Toying with making it desperate for some reason.
I'm always excited to see people make desperate rolls. Gives you some experience, ups the risk, always makes me happy.
I mean, yeah, sure. It's
All right.
the end of the session.
Desperate, great effect. Let's see what you do here.
And an extra dice.
5. Okay, so success with some consequences.
And did you put this the extra die from us as from the hunting ground?
Oh no, I didn't actually.
So I guess you need one more
Right.
Yes, roll one more die.
in case you can get that
Good catch.
6. Yeah, no worries. I was like, I know they're great at hunt. You should have 4 dice at this point.
I
You
just roll a dice or press.
Yeah,
fortune
just roll a
Yeah.
fortune dice, single dice. Okay,
Close.
so still a success with consequences. So you're scoping out the area. You see, obviously, the obvious entrances. There's the front entrance into the apothecary shop. There is the covered walkway that leads back into the sunken grotto. But you also do see to the right of that a partially submerged grated tunnel that looks like it's probably part of the sewer system, but you would think that based on its location, probably connects into another area of that sunken grotto. Oh, so basically I'm just going with less effect. So that's all you were able to see with that level of success. No other consequences, just reduced effect.
Nice.
Anyone else want to try to gather some information at the closing minutes of the session? What would you like to do, Placid?
I would like to attune to the ghost field and see what kind of supernatural defenses this woman has set up in this place, because she is going to have that up the wazoo, and that is going to be our biggest issue, I feel.
Okay, so this is risky limited.
Not for long.
Ooh.
So we're going to desperate,
and
limited goes up to standard.
Standard, correct. And devil's bargains, pushing yourself, it's all on the table.
Devil's bargain.
She's going to know somebody's testing her defenses.
Not what we want, ideally. May I counter propose?
Sure. What you got?
That instead of attracting her attention, it draws the attention of another interested party who may want us to do things for them in future, or threaten to rat us out if we don't do something.
Blackmail.
I like that. You're going to draw the attention of an entity of some kind who is going to require that you do a job for them.
Yep, I'll take that. So that's 2 bonus dice I've got then. And it's a good job I did.
Yep, 6. So you attune to the ghost field. What's that look like when you're attuning to the ghost field?
Well, I'm still a little bit banged up, so I'm going to get nearby but not too close, and I'm going to astrally project, I think, into the electroplasmic field. So I'm going to try and leave my body a little bit and float around the ghost field, viewing all of the electroplasmic signatures that are set up around this place, looking for things like ghosts floating round, big shiny bars of magical traps, that kind of thing. And I imagine that it's in the electroplasmic field that something else probably notices me as well. It's like, oh, you're not a ghost.
I know exactly what's going to happen there. So yeah, actually, and they approach you, and it appears to be another whisperer or sorcerer themselves in a ghostly form. But you can't see their face. It's just blank, and they're wearing robes. I see you there. And I see what you're doing there.
That's a nice trick with the face. I like that.
Well, I've been doing this for quite a long time. Listen, I'm not going to get in the way of whatever it is you're doing, and I think I'll probably know very soon what it is you're doing. But understand this, my friend. When you're done doing what you're doing in no more than 5 days from now, you need to present yourself to the Dimmer Sisters. We're going to have a conversation. Oh, yes, we are.
So it'd be my very great pleasure, sir and or madam.
then it just vanishes, and you have no idea how that trick was pulled off. The ghost field itself just seems to split open and then close again, and they're gone. But what you do see as you're looking around, you see that all of the doors and windows into the apothecary shop are spirit locked. There is a bound ghost on the walkway. You don't know what the trigger is, but you see a ghost. Basically, it looks like this a screaming specter is chained, and all they can do is they run up and down with that kind of skipping gait, up and down, up and down, up and down the walkway. And then over the sewer grate, you see a bound, locked spirit door. And that's what you discern. So it's heavily fortified against spiritual assault and possibly physical assault, depending on how some of these defenses might manifest. You know for a fact the ghost, and you believe the trapped door can impact things physically.
Okay, I shall snap back to my body. Lead belly. I got a plan, mate.
A plan?
Underwater demolition.
Ah, okay.
Right?
Got you.
Do you think you can pull it off?
Of course, have you seen everything I've come? Yes, I can. Underwater demolition's my second favorite kind of demolition. Above ground being the first.
Because you see, what I've found is all the doors and entrances are warded, and she's got ghosts out front that are probably alarm ghosts running, shouting, alarm things. So we don't want to go in the front, and we don't want to go in the secret door, and we can't go in any of the windows or regular doors. So we're going to have to make a door. But it's on the water.
That is literally my favorite thing to do in this. Well, second favorite thing to do in this world is make doors.
Yeah.
Where there were no doors prior.
Underwater door. Yeah.
And at that, we're going to wrap for tonight. We're going to start next week with Oleg Leadbelly Brine using his free downtime activity that he gets in Fog Crest to acquire a diving suit so he can play some underwater demolitions. And then we'll see how this score goes off. I want to thank everybody for watching our downtime activities today. I want to thank my players for bearing with me and fleshing out their characters in the wonderful ways that they have. Please, everybody, come join us on the Garblag Games Discord. Gartopia is a fun place to hang out. I'm always on there because I clearly don't have a life other than enjoying my hobbies. So check out the Blades in the Dark channel. If you've got questions about any of the things that I'm doing, or you want to make some suggestions about the factions, please jump in there, ask some questions, and I'll let you know what's going on. Ben, what do we have going on next week in Garblag?
Next week in Garblag, we've got Monday, City of Mist, which is getting spicy. They split the party. Love it when they do that. Two people about to walk into the Tunnel of Love, despite having been told there's a monster in there. Two people chasing the dead body of the person they just fell over's dead body down a tunnel in a sewer that they didn't know was there. And one person currently being the bamboozler, in fact, being bamboozled by an also bamboozling person, which is very exciting. Tuesday, Coriolis, space. And we are flying in space and going to my homeworld, which is going to be a beautiful and religious experience and in no way involve missing people and murders. Wednesday is the finale?
Nope. Nope. It's probably the second to last episode of Once Upon a Time in the Old World for Season 3. We will be continuing to try to gather the items we need to attack the Wizard's Tower or free the Wizard in the Wizard's Tower in Season 4. As everybody knows, Hagen lost Hammerzite last week, if you were watching. So part of the quest will be to recover it.
Youch.
And on Thursday, Is Nye running a one shot? Or
TBD at present. Thursday is currently TBD.
Thursday night on Garblag North America, however, we'll be returning to Octun Cthulhu after we executed the massacre at the Veiled Monastery last night, completely slaughtering all of poor Matt's bad guys. We'll see what the crew continues to do in Tibet as they get ready to make their way to India. And then Friday we'll be back here. And you'll be seeing a score as the crew tries to take down a Whisperer-owned vice den. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks to my cast for indulging me once again in this game that I absolutely love. And we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.